find it hard when learning language?
Uh, well, assuming the question is asking for the friends, so yes, absolutely. Well, I always think that English is harder than Vietnamese. I realize that the only reason I said so is because, well, I am Vietnamese and I have been, you know, I have learning and continue to hear and speak in my mother tongue. So it feels natural to me to uh, to pronounce and to know the meaning of the words and form a grammatically correct sentences, things like that. But for other peoples from other countries, it's a whole different stories. Uh, yeah, there are some people out there that can be very fluent with Vietnamese, but most I see have a very distinct accents that when you hear them, you will know immediately that they are not Vietnamese because especially European and American, those kind of people, they are very. It's very hard to hear what they are saying because of their tongue and mouth structure is not built for speaking this kind of language. The second obstacle is also because Vietnamese is just complicated. Like there's a whole idiom in Vietnamese which kind of translate to uh, flood, tsunami, and big wind doesn't compare Vietnamese grammar, stuff like that. It's just a joke, but it's kind of correct for Vietnamese as instead of having like divide into 12 different tenses, like in English, Vietnamese is often kind of form a sentences just using some specific word. For example, if you want to say in something in past sentence, in the past tense, you're likely to use the word đã or từng, instead of having to divide your word for like from R to were is to was, and uh, so on. You get my idea. So people who are not born and talk this way find it's really challenging to to talk because they don't know what they are saying exactly. And also I just want to say that Vietnamese vocabulary is hilarious, like just the word đá, like maybe in English it's like rock or ice can be translated to cake, drugs, and divorce. So there's a lot of things going on with Vietnamese, and hence it's make a big obstacle to learn my language in other countries from my foreign friends and stuff. Which language should children learn at school?
So it's pretty easy that most school here let children learn English. So apart from English, I think that another language that children should be learned at school is Chinese. So in Vietnam, where Chinese is really effective and is affect a lot to people for uh, for a lot of like decades. So and apart so like additionally to that, so uh Chinese is now having a really place that Vietnam should be engaged in. So having another language as Chinese will have Vietnamese people a lot to uh get into that place and develop and also increase the economy of Vietnam. So I think that Chinese is really useful and it's pretty easy to learn for children too. And another reason for that, apart from developing and engage in the economy, I think that Chinese have a lot of it could be considered as the like international language because it have been used by many people. So it is really easy to communicate to and find any people who speak. So do you think technology helps people in learning language?
I think absolutely. So let's say our apps like Anki, Elsa, Duolingo, stuff like that. They really helped people and to learn language. Maybe not like everything from like speaking and listening and reading skill, but at least it helps people to be and to engage in other foreign language. So the best example I can think of would be like uh, Duolingo because of how uh, uh, you know uh, of how it's have like a friendly user interface with intriguing exercise and a good method to help people build up their memories and pronunciation. I find my experience learning both English and a bit Germany for fun. Just it's quite good, and I can easily remember words. And it also happens to be that apps they don't actually have feelings, so they don't scold at you, they don't yell at you for not understanding or not knowing what you're saying or how if you can't pronounce a word. So that this kind of patience is what makes me calm and help me to be more concentrated in the lesson. And yeah, I think while it may not be your helping hand to learn all kinds of subject, technology definitely helps people to learn about different language, at least like partially and in some aspect of it. Do you think that people all become rely on technology?
So from my perspective, like tons of people are now rely on technology and they become really like not being proactive to do anything anymore. They just like search on the internet or any search engine that they could think of to do the work that have been assigned to. So that would be really decrease their creativity and also it won't help them understand their assignment that they have been work on. So for that situation, let's take an example that is really common now, like the student. So in my school, like students have a lot of projects that they need to work on, a lot of like website and find information on it. So I think it's like right them to search on the internet, of course, but in somehow they they are really like used. They are assigned an an assignment
Uh,
So when they are used to it and they assign, like when they have an offline project and they can use their device, so they will definitely struggle on how to do it, and they just that they could go on the internet and search for it, so it will bring like negative impact to people. So children and adults who will learn it better.
well, I think it's it's very different from each other. So I think personally, I would say that probably adults will find it easier to learn maybe some skills in other language. To be exact, it will be reading and perhaps writing, because those are the skills that might require more like logic than actual memorization and thinking on your head to pronounce a word or something. Those are the skills that adults are already familiar with, and they can do better. But any other things, I would say children is completely outperform adults in this kind of things. Because the children mind in the early age is very open to new information and knowledge. So hence why people who learn English in the early year have way better pronunciation and speaking skill and their overall mindset and how they answer questions and how they think in English. So take for example, like maybe myself, I learned English in kindergarten, and versus my dad who only learned English in college, and after that and it's always boils down to uh, me having better like speaking and listening skill and stuff like that. But my dad always beat me in things like reading and translating, because he already have so much experience with it that the only minor convenience is he doesn't know how to really say these kind of things in the actual language. He like writing and stuff. It seems like breathing to him now, because he get used to it. And as I said, adults are better at doing this kind of things than children. But children, because they learn in the early age, they develop their skill naturally and will certainly surpass their adult counterpart in the future if given enough time and practice. Last question: what is the best way for adults and children to learn English?
So there are many differences in the way that adults and children to learn English. So for me, uh, if the best way for children to learn English is to learn from videos and short jingles, like when they are like into a lot of jingles, definitely so it's really easy to remember, and that will help the brain to memorize English. So, and all the way is to watch video with which is kind of like similar to the jingle. Video, like it, the video is English, so when they are used to post video, and definitely and English, so it will easier to improve their like listening skill or also understand about English. So, for instance, sister who really good at and she she have not been through any extra classes of English, but she can speak like really naturally. So the only thing that she did is when she was like 4, she stopped to watch YouTube video or in English. So just because of that, she became a really good speaker. So that would be the best way for children to learn English. So for adult, it will be not. It will be more like I think. So I would say is watch some movie or novel. So because adult friends they will be more like into on the other like another level, and it's not something that just really funny or hilarious as children does. So I think that films and novel would be a good choice for. So an as example here is an idol in Korean. So he learned English by watching the Friends series. So just from learning movie, he became like a pretty good figure. But I think that just the best way I could think of about now, and I think that's like more than it, and there are tons of way to learn English, not depend adult or children. So I think that is the end.